think we have now made it. The struggle has been real. Okay. But I think at this point, we got it. Okay. Let me get this shared. Okay. Hey y'all, as y'all come in, make sure you like the video. We're about to get restarted again after our technical difficulties, but we good now. Oh, we good now. Okay. Now, let me try again. And y'all, can y'all let me know if y'all can hear me? Okay. And labeling. Okay. All right. I think everything's good now. Yes, I think we are now good. Let me just move over this way a little bit. But yes, I think we are good now. We were struggling for a second, but we're all right. Except for my contact lens. Yeah, like my little black dress. The little black dress is a staple that every feminine woman should have in her wardrobe. Okay, it's a must. Okay, need to scoot back a little bit. Oh Lord, going down. Okay, yeah, that's better. I wonder if I can dual streams. Let's see if I can put this one here. Kind of dual stream. Dual stream on both of those. Oop. Make sure y'all share the video if you found the video on Facebook. Make sure you guys share the video as well. And let's see. Oh, my contacts. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can. Oh. All right. Oh. Let me do this. Oh. Oh my gosh, my contacts. What is going on? can add. Sharing. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, that's what I just did. I started Instagram Live so we can get everybody moved in this direction before we get started. Because if I get started now, then you end up with everyone like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? And so that's why I'm trying not to start it until everyone gets in here. Hey, y'all. Listen, for everybody joining, I want you guys to go to my YouTube channel, Six the Goddess. You can also click the link in my bio and subscribe to my YouTube and join me on YouTube because I really want to do the primary focus of the stream on the YouTube platform. So as you guys come on, as you get this message, matter of fact, let me pin a comment so y'all can't. Let's see. Join live on YouTube. If my contact lets me be great. Oh my God. Yeah, because we wanna focus the live streams here. That way they stay permanently. They have their own space. Okay, link in my Fo. Hey Fo. I miss you, Forrest. Man. I miss you, Forrest. We don't even see each other no more. Family fell apart. Ooh, the girls, honey, coming out to play. Honey. Ooh, hey, girl. Oh, my God. Okay. I'm telling you, Forrest, where you at? Looking for you in the daytime with a flashlight, Forrest. Dang. Where are you? Yes, please do. And it's a lot of stuff that you got to get caught up on, too. Just letting you know. So a lot's been going on over there. So, yeah. Have to catch you up. Yeah, y'all. So we doing good. Let's get started. Right. That's why I want to get on YouTube because when I do the live streams now on Instagram, they never really get saved. They be on the Instagram IGTV, and it's just, it ain't the same. So for y'all just coming on, go over to my YouTube channel and join the chat on the YouTube. It's our first YouTube live stream, so you want to be a part of this. It's going to be dope. And we are discussing today, should you take your husband's last name? This had to does this have the title on it? I don't know, y'all. But at this point, I am not trying to be perfect. At this point, I'm just glad we're getting it done because, Lord, the struggle has been so real. The struggle has been beyond real. Okay. Thank y'all so much for doing that for me. I appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you guys. So when y'all come in here, you know, we're all really getting this started up together. So when y'all come in here, I really appreciate the support to like the video, to share the video, donate in super chat. The title is there. Donate in super chat, tell your friends, leave a comment, all that. I really appreciate the support. All right, so we're going to talk about should you take your husband's last name? Now, this live stream was inspired by a post that I saw on the Millennial Married page. I love the Millennial Married page on I love the Millennial Married page on Instagram. The demographic of the page is basically marrying age Black women. And the page is really in support of, Black love, Black marriage, and everything like that. Okay. So I was on the page and I saw a tweet by a brother. Shout out to the brother Money My Do. And the tweet by the brother said something to the effect of, when I get married, my wife is taking my last name, no questions asked. If that's not okay, we got nothing to talk about, and no hyphens either. Okay. So when I read the post, in my mind, I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Give me all that BDE. Give me all that I said what I said. Give me all that masculinity, all that masculine Black leadership. Give it to me. I was like, yes, king. Hello. Can anybody hear the brother? Okay. So I'm expecting that that's kind of going to be the reaction for everybody. So I go to read the comments. Oh, and real quick, if you sent me these hats, please inbox me, because I got sent these hats a long time ago by a Black-owned company, but the name is not in the hat. So now I have no idea the Instagram name or anything. So if you sent me these hats, hit me up and let me know. I'm going to be featuring all types of Black-owned brands and products in the background. I'm going to be getting 2 shelves here, and on the shelves, we will be displaying different Black-owned products, because I refuse to be on here promoting other people's brands who don't promote and support us in return. Okay. I also, first of all, stop. Okay, because I'm used to doing this for my podcast, but not for my YouTube. Okay. So let me just back up. Okay. Let me introduce myself. So my name is Six the Goddess. I am an influencer of femininity for Black women. And I am an author. And I want you to keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shit. Okay, let me just throw right in there. Get that right. So that's what I do. I take my experiences, things that I've learned, different messages from my ancestors, different insight, and I pay that information forward for my sisters, for us to become the best versions of mothers, wives, sisters, friends, etc. that we can be. So that's what I do. That's what I have committed my life to doing. I've come a long way myself, and now I spend my time bringing my sisters along with me as we continue to grow, elevate, and excel. So that's a little bit about moi. Welcome to my first YouTube live stream. I'm sure we'll look back on this live stream in 10 years and be like, remember the first one? Wow. So you're kind of part of history right now, because mark my words, I know my capabilities and this is going to be dope. So we have our first donation. Shout out to the brother Javier Molet. Is it Molets? Molete? Molets? Javier Molet. Is it Javier? Is it Xavier? I don't know. But thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Got our first donation. Yay. I feel so excited. Wow. Like, I'm so happy. Oh my gosh. Look at us. Our first try. Okay, I see you. So back to the topic. So shout out to the brother Money My Do, because he said what he said, ladies. Okay, so now I go look in just Javier, no Javier. Okay, got you. So is it Xavier or Javier? I'm guessing Javier. It's looking like it's Javier. Okay. Okay. So the shout out to the brother Money My Do, coming through with that Black masculinity messages that we need. Okay. So now I see the post, I see the tweet. I go look at the comments just out of curiosity to see, like, I wonder what other people are saying about this. And the comments blew me away. Like, I was legit shooketh at these comments. I was like, I thought I was crazy. Like, I was in a twilight zone. I'm like, how is almost, and before anyone says, oh, Six, you generalizing Black women, because I know we cannot wait to do that. Because we as Black women, when we are not ready to hear the truth, we try to say that you're attacking us or you're generalizing us. Or if it's a man saying it, we'll say, oh, well, you're a man, so you can't tell us what to do. If it's someone out of our race saying it, we'll say, well, you're not in our race, so you can't tell us what to do. We will always find a way to deflect for the truth if it means holding on to ideals that we have, even if they may be toxic or even if they may be holding us back. Okay, so this is why we want to get out of that mindset, because that ain't it. That is not it. It's not working out for us very well. So I look at the comments, and this is what was being said in the comments. The comments were to the extent of, is he single? Because he sounds single. 800 people liked the comment. Then it was women saying, you can keep your last name, sir. Oh, he's already controlling. I can't imagine how controlling he'll be if I marry him. I'm good on you, sir. Sir, who are you anyway? Sir. And I'm sitting here like, oh my God, this right here, this is our issue. I'm going to tell you what things happen. The first thing is that too many Black people were not raised in the household with masculine fathers. So you don't even know how masculine tones, masculine communication sounds. You're very desensitized. You may have grew up with your mama nagging you and cussing you out all day, and that won't bother you. But when a man says something in a matter-of-fact way, because you're not accustomed to that, you're offended, and you're sitting here telling everybody about how you're over here telling everybody about how this man is controlling. And that's why when I see a woman call a man controlling, I want more background into what does she mean by that. Okay, because we tend to throw around that word of controlling way too quickly and way too easily. Okay, because that's not controlling at all. So the second thing, so the first issue is no masculine Black fathers in the home. So you don't know what authoritative masculine tones sound like. They sound frightening to you. They sound scary to you. Okay. The second problem is that a lot of women are used to dealing with more timid men that are going to allow you to take majority of control. And for too many Black women, this is what we have become accustomed to. Okay. We become accustomed to men that just sit back and they looking at you. You know what I'm talking about. You ever seen a man like that where everything that's said, he kind of look at the woman like, so what are we doing? He don't make no decisions. He don't take the lead in nothing. He does not take charge. These are the type of men we have gotten used to. The type of men that sit back and allow us to take control. So, we used to take it on the lead, and he just sits back looking at you like, so what do we do, babe? What do we do? And so we become used to that. So then when you have a man that takes charge, and kind of grab his balls like this is what it is, you don't know how to handle that. And it's going to be very important for us as Black women to understand the difference between the two. Because this is the issue right now, is that we don't understand, like we hear about it, but we don't know what it looked like in real life. Okay, so then when you have a man that is putting his money where his mouth is, that has very clear understanding of what his role is as man, you over here talk about he ain't have to say it like that. First of all, how can we as women decide that we are going to sit and police men about what is and is not masculine? How are we going to sit and say, oh, we need men to step up, we need men to do this and that? But then when you do have a brother that step up and do what he needs to do, you're like, oh, but not like that. Oh, but not like that, though. We need men to step up. We need men to take control. We need men to be men. Also Black women. But you didn't have to say it that aggressively. Oh, we tired of this. We need men that's gonna do what they need to do. This, that, and the third. Okay, we're getting married, taking my last name, no hyphens, in the story. Let's go. Ugh. First of all, am I your property? It sound like you just trying to control somebody. It don't even sound like you want a wife. You know what? I'm good on you. You can keep your last name. You can keep your marriage. I'm just gonna stay single and have a different penis every 6 months to a year, or maybe even less than that, and put myself at all type of risk and be vulnerable out here in these streets. Okay, I'd rather do that than be controlled by you. And this is how we keep ourselves in the okie doke. Because look how you sound. You sound crazy. Black women, oh my God, it's not enough men to go around for women. Oh my God, it's more women than men. It's not fair. Also, Black women, when you do have a masculine man available, you're like, but wait. First of all, I don't like your tone, so I'm good on you. Excuse me? Do you see the self-sabotage? So what self-sabotage is? Self-sabotage is when a human being subconsciously does not feel like they have the means, the resources, or the right to obtain a certain thing. So they set themselves up so that attaining that thing is impossible. Okay. They put themselves in position to where obtaining what they say they want becomes impossible. And they can't get it. Okay, because now what happens is now they're not the reason behind why they haven't gotten this certain thing. It's something else. It's that person's tone. It's that person was controlling. Oh, he's aggressive. That's what masculinity is. It's leadership, it's aggression, it's control. Okay. But that's why you vet a man and you have a proper man in your life that you know is not going to take advantage of that and that is qualified to lead in that way. But you don't get both. Okay. So now the next argument that I want to kill before we go forward is people that were saying, well, it's a slave name. Well, why are we arguing about this? And it's a slave name. We shouldn't be worried about a slave name. And I'm like, okay, let's just have a talk about that. Let's have a talk about that. First of all, the issue was the particular brother that made this statement was an African guy. His last name was Madu. Okay. So his last name was nowhere near a slave name. That's the first issue. So the second issue is, this is this man's name, then that's his name. Period. I don't care if it's a slave name, non-slave name. I don't care. If that's the man's name, that's the man's name. More than likely, that was his father's name and his father's name before him as well. So you don't get to come in as a woman and be like, yeah, excuse me, but that last name, I ain't feeling it. And I'm not taking that slave name, so therefore I'm good. No. If that's the man's name, that's the man's name, period. You take it or you leave it. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. So if this is the man, if this is the name that this man has built up, this is the name that this man has put his work and effort behind, that's the name you take it. Okay. You can maybe suggest that the family start a new name and, start an African name, but that's not something that he has to do. You don't know what the story is behind that name. Who cares? Talk about it's a slave name. That name is whatever him, his father, and his father before him has made it. You know what slave like? Not being married as a Black woman. That's slave like. You worry, you sitting here talking about you want to take this man's last name, talking about it's a slave name. What you need to be worried about is it being slave like that you single with them kids. Okay. How you not worried about that aspect of slavery? You talking about the name. Maybe you out here making babies with men that haven't married you, like we still in slave days and we have to breed. You talk about a slave name, but you're still breeding. You're not creating a marriage and a family. You're breeding like a breeder rat. Now that's the slave part of it. So that's a sorry excuse. Oh, I don't want to take it a name because it's a slave name, but you out here act like a whole slave, having all this sex and having all these kids without being married. You can't pick and choose what you do and do not feel is slave-like. If you gonna sit here and say you don't want nothing slave-like, then let it be for everything. Not saying that you don't want to take the man's name, but you'll sit here and keep popping all these kids out for Day Day and Tyrone. Now that's slave-like. Okay, that's slave-like. Back when we were not allowed to get married. We could be killed for being married. We had to get married in private. That's where the term jumping the broom comes from. We had to jump the broom because we were not allowed to have weddings. Now all of a sudden you talking about, oh, I don't want to take the last name because it's a slave name. If you don't, and find somebody else to play with them sorry excuses. If you don't sit your... Okay, so now here go. This is what angry feminists do when they have no argument for their point, but they just want to hold on. Then they start getting dramatic. Okay. Once the logic don't work, next step, plan B, they break the glass, and now it's time for some dramatic theatrics. So here go the next thing. Well, what if I'm a doctor and I already established my practice and my degrees say my original last name? So if my degrees say that, then I'm not changing the name. Baby girl, when you die, your degree will not be on your tombstone. See, we don't think this far in advance. Baby girl, when you pass away, your tombstone is not going to say doctorate. It's not going to say PhD. It's not going to say bachelor. Ain't going to say none of that. It's going to say whether you were a loving wife, mother, daughter, sister, or whatever. That's what it's going to say. I saw sisters saying in the post, first of all, I had these degrees before he got here, and my degrees say my name, so it's staying. You know you are broken as a people when you would sit and deny yourself the right and the love and the legacy of marriage for a piece of paper from some other people's school. You cannot get any more broken than that. That's how you know a group of women are extremely broken. When you're sitting here saying that you will not marry the man because you refuse to take the last name because your degree says your original last name. That has to be the saddest thing I think I've heard in a very long time. And what made it so sad was the fact that the sisters was dead serious. There was no LOL, ha ha ha, JK, just kidding. No. They was dead for real. Okay, this was not a joke. So you gonna sit here and get dramatic, talk about, well, what if she a doctor, as though it's not every one in freaking 10,000 Black women that's a practicing doctor. Spare me, boo. And find somebody else to play with that mess. Well, what if she a doctor? What? That's the best you could do? But that's when you know that you're back against the wall and you losing, and you just have to think of something to say, anything to say to try to get you out of being held accountable. Well, what if she's a doctor? If you don't sit your, if you don't sit your, you know what? I'm gonna keep it together. Again, this is not a generalizing, okay? Because y'all can go on the people's page, Millennial Married. Go on the page of Millennial Married, And you will see 800 comments. Okay, out of 800 comments, maybe 10 of the women were like, I see no problem with that. I definitely would want to take my husband's last name. So if you understand the way a case study works, a case study will say, okay, we're going to take a group of 800 people, 1,000 people. We'll ask them certain questions, make certain observations, and the answers out of that study group will give you insight into the percentage of that group and how they think or feel about said subject. So to me, this post was like a case study. It was like a study group. Just seeing the percentage of women who were genuinely talking about my degree and well, I ain't got to marry you then, sir, and I'm good on you and you can keep your last name and I'd rather be single. That's a problem, ladies. That is a huge problem, and it's one that we're going to address tonight. Okay, because what I call my generation, for those of y'all that don't know, I'm a millennial. My generation is a generation that grew up. I call us the Cinderella generation, and y'all have heard me say this multiple times. My generation is the Cinderella generation. We are the ones that we grew up back when we had VHS. Okay, when we talk about real millennials had all the Disney classic movies on VHS growing up. And for a lot of us, those are the only movies we had. And we would sit and watch all the Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast and Sleeping Beauty and Little Mermaid. And I probably watched Cinderella 5 times a day as a young girl growing up. That's back before we really had cable. We didn't really have cable like that. There was really no internet. There really wasn't no cell phones, video games. So them VHS tapes was our entertainment. And they costed a lot of money. So if you grew up super poor like me, you only had a few. So my few Disney classics, we had to sit and watch over and over. And what happens is you sit and you see all these. Now I gotta monitor my words because of YouTube, but you see all this color girls laying half dead like this, and Prince Charming fighting dragons to get into their castle to kiss them and take them off into the sunset and marry them. Or you sit watching girls like this scrubbing floors and everything, and then all of a sudden Prince Charming just shows up at her doorstep talking about, I found your shoe, come marry me and live in my castle. So when you sit and you're exposed to that, as my generation, the Cinderella generation was, that becomes your norm, especially if you did not have a masculine authoritative figure in the home. This becomes your reality of how marriage works. This becomes your reality of how dating works. This becomes your expectation. Because I often wonder, like, so where did we get this idea from? And then it clicked to me. I'm like, it's from all the Cinderella movies. I blame Disney Classics. Disney Classics did a number on us. Now we really over here thinking that we're going to be out here scrubbing floors and Prince Charming going to knock at our door and marry us and take us to a castle. That is not the way it works at all. And having the attitude like you got so much to say about what you will and will not do, to marry a masculine husband who has a last name that he's proud of and he wants you to take. Where'd that come from? So now my generation of millennials, we have a lot of work to do because this is what happened. Our grandmothers, I hate when people say, we are not like our grandmothers. We are not like our grandmothers, okay? We are not like them, da, 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 da. You're right, we're not. Because our grandmothers were 20 times the women that we are today. This is what happened. Our grandmothers were very traditional, very feminine. Okay, they believed in, they weren't out here being baby mamas and renegading and doing all that. They was very much on code. They was very much on point in information. Okay. Then came our mothers, which is the baby boomers. And the baby boomer women sat and watched their mothers, our grandmothers as millennials. I'm speaking as a millennial. So now our mothers, the baby boomers, watched our grandmothers be submissive to their men. They watched them be married, stay home, work, take care of the kids, support. They watched them stick around through thick and thin. Thick and thin is not always beautiful. So then our mother sat and watched that and was like, and then the Black Power feminist movement came through. So now our mothers sat and watched their mothers be traditional women. Then they had Black Power feminists going on, and everybody was walking around half naked with afros talking about Black Power. Then here come the oppressed. You know what I'm talking about, women. Because they get oppressed by their men. So now they watch their mothers having their father's foot on their necks, oppressing them. Now they sat here and say, you know what? We're not going to be like them. You let them women sit and tell you, oh, we being oppressed. No, honey, your mama was being oppressed, baby girl. Black men have never oppressed Black women ever in history. Black men have never, ever, ever oppressed us. So you let other women and their experiences, and you let them project that on you. Now, you don't let these girls convince you that you don't have to be like that. And that's when they started saying that you can be more than a wife and you can be more than a homemaker. So go ahead, drop your kids off to daycare at 6 weeks while your uterus is still wide open and your vagina is still wide open. Go ahead and shove your kids to daycare and go to work with your half closed up uterus, making yourself prone to all type of infection and God knows what else. Put your kids in daycare, let them get sick, let them eat daycare food, and you go get a job, sis. And you go excel in your career. We're not going to sit around and just take this crap from men anymore. When it was never Black men putting our grandmothers through the wire in any extraordinary way. It was those other men oppressing those other women. Now they don't took their oppression, projected it on us, and we fell for it. So now our mothers was the renegade generation that rebelled against traditional values, because in their eyes, watching their mothers be traditional wives was a negative thing, you know. And if they did happen to see anything that wasn't the fairy tale that they were told they should have in their marriages, they felt like they didn't want to do that and that they could be more than that. So then our mothers, the baby boomers, are the ones that started being single moms and started publicly embracing promiscuity. So now my generation, the millennial generation, we're in a unique position because now we get to see both sides of the coin. So we watched our grandmothers, we watched them be traditional, watched them be women, watched them be real women, watched them sacrifice, put themselves aside, stick around, be loyal. We've seen them and we've seen how that ended for them. And for most of our grandmothers, it ended in honor. It ended in, if they're still alive, I bet you still love her to this day. I bet she is still the nurturer and strength of your family to this day. When she dies, all y'all gonna be at her funeral and boohoo crying, talking about you miss her because she was a glue of your family. Your grandmother holds a position of honor in your family for the most part. Okay. So we see how it ended for our grandmothers. It ended pretty well. It ended with honor. They were always taken care of. They were always protected. Is there the good and the bad like in anything? Yes, there's always good and bad. Everything has good and bad. Nothing is always good and always bad. It always is a mix of both. Okay. So now we've seen our mothers. Now hindsight is 2020. So I enjoy sitting back and looking at the patterns and being like, yeah, after further review. So now we've seen our mothers go renegade, go rebel, and become single moms, be on welfare, work till they die, have no masculine protection, go through 50 penises in their lives, be prone to all type of disease, abortions, mess. After further review, after my calculations, I'm rolling with grandma. Okay. After further review, I am rolling with what grandma did. Okay, because you love to paint the picture like our grandmas was just out here being beaten on, cheated on, and being taken advantage of, when that is not at all the case. Because you've been watching too much Four Colored Girls and too much Colored Purple and too much Waiting to Exhale. That's the other movies that my generation grew up watching. Now you don't watch so much Waiting to Exhale that you think being loyal and being married and being traditional and being a real woman like your grandma is going to end in your husband leaving you for a white girl and leaving you for dead. That's your fear. Now that's why you don't put your everything into marriage. That's why you scared to you so scared to get married, you scared to take a man's last name. Because the idea of being vulnerable kills you, because you have been groomed. You have been groomed to be afraid of being a woman. You've been groomed to resent being a woman. And so now you're scared of nothing. Okay. Ladies, I'm just going to go ahead and lay it out to you like that. Let's talk about what happens when you get married. First of all, there has to be an order in everything. Everybody, it got to be the chief, it got to be the Indians. Not everyone can be the chief, not everyone can be the Indian. Everybody got to play their role. Okay, that's how you keep a society moving. If you guys have not watched Indian matchmaking on Netflix, I suggest you watch it. Okay. They did an amazing job putting that documentary together to give you a real, very raw inside look into how natural, transactional, expected, and automated marriage is in Indian culture. This is not to say that that is not the case for certain African cultures. However, they don't have a documentary on Netflix that we can all refer to quickly and expeditiously. Because I had someone say that, oh, why are you over here promoting Indian matchmaking? Africans do it the same, and we don't have a special on Netflix. How about you go ahead and shoot it? How about, since you so proactive, how about you go ahead and make a YouTube documentary about arranged marriages in Africa? Until then, there is one on India. Okay? And you need to watch it because it gives you insight into what marriage is. Okay. It's called Indian Matchmaking. Indian Matchmaking on Netflix. And you're going to see everything in there. You're going to see how they use their ancient spiritual systems to get married and to matchmake. You're going to see how they not only match according to race, but by region. It's a beautiful young lady on there from Guyana. And she's having troubles getting matched with a man from the country India because she's Guyanese. They don't even play that, let alone swirling. They barely play that when it comes to swirling different regions within their culture. It's that serious. Because they understand that is how you keep a culture alive. That is how you keep wealth generated and circulating generation after generation. That's how you keep it alive. Marriage is not optional. Okay, I stay away from Black women that think marriage is optional. Them Black women that say, I don't want to be married or marriage is not everything, I stay away from you. And stay far away from me as you possibly can, because that is contagious. And I don't want that sitting here rubbing off on me. You can keep that. Yes, we have to be married because you are going to need a man in your life. And you know what happens to those same women who sit and say they don't have to be married? Those are the same women who get angry at strangers on the street for not doing for them and for not protecting them. We got to hear about how you don't want to be married, but then we got to hear about you dogging out the entire black male race because random Negroes that don't even know you are supposed to sit and be a man to you because that's what a man does, but you don't want to be married. You don't want to have a husband. Thank you, Sam Stees, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Y'all got me feeling so warm and so cuddly tonight. I just don't know what to do. My first live stream. I was not expecting donations. Thank you so much. You can't tell me nothing now. Y'all done got me motivated. Okay, now I see you, girl. I see you, girl. Let me adjust this a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, what was I saying? Pour my drink of water. So ladies, yes, you do need to be married. Okay. Number one, you're physically weak. You're physically weak. You can't keep up. Things are getting real. Y'all need to understand it's a pandemic. It's COVID-19. Jobs is going bye-bye. This is why you need a man. You need his strength. You need his resources. You need his contacts. This is not something we can do on our own because we are out here thinking we so bad and we're out here having jobs where we still depend on men in these jobs thinking we doing it. I hate when I see a girl that got OnlyFans or is a stripper talking about how she's so independent. No, you're not. You're still making your money based upon you pleasing a man. Help me understand. We as women are not as independent as we think. Most of, you know what the number one job is for women? Receptionists, administration, and secretary type jobs. Where you sit and you get the scheduling, phone calls, and everything right for a man. And you think you're so bad and you think you're so independent. And talking about you don't need a man, but your job revolves around men. Or you'll get a job that's also a job that you're supposed to have anyway at home. You know what the next most popular job for women? A teacher. You don't want to be at home teaching your own kids. You don't want to be the first teacher for your children, but you'll go get a job teaching, making $40,000 a year with a bunch of bad kids. You'll go do that. Talk about you independent, but you won't stay at home and homeschool and teach your own children. Because ladies, more of you can be stay-at-home moms if you know how to be frugal. You could be a stay-at-home mom when you don't have to pay for private school. When you could say, listen, we don't got to pay for private school. I will teach the kids. You could be a stay-at-home mom. When you're a stay-at-home mom that can save your husband money, it's just as valuable as you going out there making your own money, thinking you're independent, but you're not. And you think that you're so independent until a pandemic hits. Now, all them little jobs you had, what's the next most popular job for women? Waitress. Ain't no waitress, baby. Ain't no dining going on. All them little waitress jobs, all them little secretary jobs, everybody working from home now. There ain't no secretaries no more. Okay, everybody working from home. They're working remotely. Offices are shut down. They're not in there. So all them little secretary, all them teacher jobs, all them little waitress jobs, all them stripper jobs, OnlyFans jobs that we think, oh my God, we're so independent with these jobs. No. Okay. And the only jobs that are about to still exist are essential jobs, where those jobs are going to go to men. That we need people that can build things, deliver packages, the truckers. These are the jobs that are about to be popping, not these little play jobs that we have thinking we independent and we're not. Okay. I've never seen anything like it in my life. You need to be married. When you get married, you are then under your man's masculine protection. Society treats married women differently than it treats single women. Single women are way more prone to be disrespected, disregarded, because society knows that there's nobody guaranteed coming to sit and hold me accountable. For everybody watching on Instagram, if you could please Join the live discussion on YouTube. We're trying to get the YouTube chat popping. I know you guys are used to my live streams here on Instagram, but we're trying to kind of do a little exodus. I don't got me a camera and a microphone, guys. So if y'all are watching this on Instagram, you can go to my YouTube, search Six the Goddess, or click link in my bio to watch this on YouTube. I greatly appreciate it, guys. So, ladies, yes, you need a husband. If you a black woman that think you don't need a husband, I can't deal with you. We can't be cool. Because you on that BS and you gonna get people messed up because misery loves company. And honey, I refuse to be going down that rabbit hole with y'all. I ain't doing it. Okay? I am not doing it. You on your own, honey. Black women, my sisters, because I know if it was a man saying this, you'll say a man can't tell you this. If it was someone outside your race saying this, you'll say they're not in your race, so they can't say this. So I am coming to you as your sister, as a black woman, that you're my reflection of me, and I love you. I am you, and you are I. That we is full of it, and we got to do better. And we got to get on code. Okay, we have been very programmed to be rebellious. Okay, that rebellious stuff is extremely toxic and it doesn't get us nowhere. So the first thing we got to agree on is yes, you need to be married, especially during times like this. I don't believe that y'all don't want to be married because you cry about needing someone to protect you. You're still popping out children like there's no tomorrow. I've never in my life, have y'all seen the meme of the Queen Mother Shahrazad Ali where she says, for it to be no good man out here, y'all sure stay getting pregnant. Y'all seen that? And I was cracking up laughing because I was like, facts. I've never seen anything like it. It's a whole lot of sex going on, a whole lot of fellatio going on, a whole lot of babies being born to women who claim they don't want to be married. You don't want to be married. Oh, shout out to Charles Lynch for the super chat. I appreciate you, Charles. I'm really loving this support. I can't thank you guys enough. It means a lot to me. Amanda Rowley says, where has it gotten us? Where has it gotten us? Do we know what it's like being married? When you're married, guess what? You got to have sex. You got to perform fellatio. Okay? You got to have children. You got to take care of them. What is the point in doing all these things without marriage? You don't be married, but you have children? You don't want to be married, but you out here giving fellatio left and right like it's going out of style? Why would you not want to give that fellatio, give that sex to your husband, where that is going to be an investment into the marriage and credit? In marriage, you have credit. You have marriage credit. So if I give him fellatio tonight, I know that in 2 days, when I want to go to Home Goods and I want to pull out the Home Goods credit card, I know he going to be prone to be like, here, baby, throw it in the bag, because I already did that fellatio the night before. That's my marriage credit. Whereas y'all be out here giving fellatio to Negroes that's going to just pull their pants up when they done, say thanks, and be on to the next woman, and then you sit and you call them a dog. That does not make any sense. If you want to be out here having sex and giving fellatio, do it for your husband, where this is going to pay off. I'm not about to be out here spreading all this good love with no return. What am I getting in return? Okay, it's not adding up. I'm sick of the lies that Black women saying they don't want to be married. Yes, you do. You're having sex, you give a fellatio, then you have sex with the man. Then when the man don't want to be in your face, you call him a dog. Then you act crazy. You say you don't be married, but then if you see this man talking to another woman, you ready to kill him. I'm lost. Talk about it's about the respect. I hate when Black women say that. It's about the respect. You say you don't be married, that you just want sex or just want this, that, and the third. So then when a man say, okay, and he just, get the sex and go on about his business, you going off on him, ready to karate chop him, talk about, who is she? Who is this? I thought you said you don't want to be married. Uh, if you don't be married, guess what that means? This man can go out here and talk to whoever he want to talk to. I don't want to be married. But guess how many dudes she got on her phone? I don't want to be married. But she had them feet in the air last night. How you had them feet in the air last night? And then the next morning, wake up to fix your mouth talking about you don't be married. I think that's a mental illness. And I am not trained to deal with the mentally ill. So just stay as far away from me as you can because you ain't making no sense. I don't want to be married. But then when something pops off and when something happens, you are talking down on and outraged by random strange men who got their own family and their own problems. You are outraged when they don't protect you. I'm not the sharpest pencil in the box, but something's not adding up. You don't be married, but you got 2, 3, sometimes 4 kids. So basically what you're saying is that you want to waste your time and that you want to do things for no reason. And feminine women don't move that way. Everything we do, there is a purpose behind it. Okay? Because our energy and things we put energy into is valuable. And since we are feminine, everything that we put our energy into multiplies. That's what femininity does. Femininity is the multiplier. Masculinity is the kickstart, the jumpstart. Femininity is the multiplier and the maintenance. That's and nature teaches us that. When the man ejaculates his semen, kickstart, then the feminine takes over, turns it into 9 months of gestation into a baby. That's how it works. So when I see sisters sitting around here saying, oh my God, don't be married, but you're having kids and doing all that, so you just out here wasting time? Or even worse, you're out here moving like the masculine, having sex with somebody because you like the way he looks. If you having sex with a man and giving him children, talking about you don't want to be married, guess what you're doing? You're operating like the masculine. And so now you basically don't sat there and had this baby and had this sex because you like the way this man looked to you. Feminine women do not have sex with a man because he looked good. Oh, he looked good, so you want to sit and re-roll in the sack with him for what? And these don't even be young girls necessarily. These don't necessarily be young girls, things like that. These be grown women in their 30s, 40s, even sometimes 50s, talking like this. Okay? Do we understand? I think we need to just reset and do a whole just understanding of how this works. Do you understand why marriage is so sacred? Do we really understand that? Marriage is sacred and a wife should be honored. This is why, see, some men be like, oh, these women, they just want to be talking about, they want to be honored and they want to be this, that, and the third. And there's a reason why. Women are not just saying that for no reason. There's a reason why women need to, and should be honored. Okay, because that's what a woman does. Oh, the woman sacrifices. Okay. When you get married, yes, you take your husband's last name. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. The woman carries the legacy. The woman is the holder of the legacy. That's why men have to be so careful on who they make their wife, because this is going to be the woman in charge of carrying and holding the entire legacy for the whole family. Don't mess this up. You mess this up, you're going down. And Jada Pinkett Smith is a perfect example of how a woman has the power to sabotage her whole family's legacy. And why, as men, you have to be careful about the women that you are marrying and giving your legacy, because she does hold that power. When you get married, Black women, you take your husband's last name. And I'm also very leery of men that say that, oh, they don't mind if their woman takes their last name or not. Oh, my woman don't have to take my last name. Sisters, men like that, that's going to get old really quick, because you are always feminine at your core and you will always crave masculinity at your core. And having a man that's like, oh, I'm okay with you not taking my last name, that is a huge first indicator that he is not going to be fit to be a type of husband that is going to lead the family and pioneer the family in positive directions. He doesn't see that he has put enough accomplishment and meaning and value behind his own last name that he feels like he's not even allowed to demand someone takes it. That's what it means, sisters. When you see a man that sits and says, oh my God, I don't mind if my woman take my last name. What he basically telling you is, I have not accomplished nothing. I have not done nothing, and I'm nobody. So therefore, I don't reserve the right to demand that a woman take my name. Put you on game. If he does not, if his energy is not like the good brother of Money Madu, that's like, you're taking my last name, period. No hyphens, run. He's letting you know, I have nothing. I have nothing of value. I'm not a threat to anyone. And he is not going to lead the family. Okay. Now, in that same breath, brothers, if you have a woman or you see a woman who sits and says, I'm not taking my husband's last name, I'm going to hyphenate it or whatever, you're getting a preview into what it's going to be like to be with this woman. She's giving you pushback on the first step to being married, which is the whole family gets under one last name. She giving you pushback with that already. So she's letting you know right now that she gonna be a headache. She's basically letting you know right now, she give you a preview that you gonna be in for it. If you sit here and marry this woman, you going to be miserable. Everything going to be a fight. Everything going to be a struggle. It's not going to be worth it. And you'll end up divorced later on for something that you saw a red flag for in the beginning. I don't think I should have to take, if you're on a date with a woman and she be like, y'all at dinner, y'all talking, and you get on the subject of marriage, and she's sitting there and she's like, when I get married, I don't want to take my husband's last name. I mean, I got a degree, okay? And I worked hard on this. Can you imagine sitting across from a good man sitting here talking like this? I'm going to give y'all a visual on how ridiculous this looks. Yeah, so we out at dinner. Yeah. Take your last name. Excuse me? No, I don't know about that, because see, my degree, my PhD, yeah, I got a degree before you, and you're sounding a little bit controlling right now if you're saying if I marry you, I have to get your last name. I have 3 degrees from very prestigious schools, and I am not changing my last name to yours just because we're getting married and I'm going to agree to be your wife till death do us part. Just because of that does not mean I need to take your last name, okay, honey, because I went to Yale. All right. What? Like, look how that sound. If I was a dude, I'd be like, check, please. Waiter, check, please. Because I ain't got time for that bull. I already see what you want. I ain't dealing with it. Check, please. Baby girl, be blessed. I have fun. Cool. Let's do it again sometime. Actually, no. Lose my number. Cool. And you know what he'll probably do? He'll probably sleep with you just to break you a little bit. He'll probably sleep with you and then dip just to humble you, because how dare you sit in my face as a masculine man sitting here talking about, oh, my degree. The disrespect. The pure disrespect. Like, oh, no, you did not. Well, I tell you what, your degree need to hold you in bed at night. Okay? When it's a scary noise downstairs, your degree need to go see what it was. Okay. When it's time for your company Christmas party, your degree needs to be your date to the party. Your degree needs to father your children. Help me understand. At this point, it is not about, oh my God, do we need to get married? Honestly, this is not that hard to understand at this point. There is no more, oh, well, Black women have been through a lot and we're still learning. Listen, at what point is enough enough? Because I'm tired of this. Well, we can't criticize Black women because Black women have been through so much. Okay, and then what? For how long? So how long are we not allowed to say nothing to Black women because we don't been through a lot? I mean, is it in the year 2030 are we allowed to start doing better? Is it another 10, 15 years from now? Like, at what point get this fixed tomorrow? I cannot believe the camera died again. I cannot believe this. I don't even know if I can switch it to the webcam. Let me see if I can switch it. Nope, I don't even think I can. Oh no, I will be at Best Buy first thing in the morning to figure out what do I need. What do I need for this camera to charge? The battery dies so quick. So guys, I got the Power Shot. Well, if y'all can still hear me, I'm just gonna leave the audio on. I'm going to leave the audio on because I want to finish this video out. It's my second time trying to do this video and I'm so over it. So I am going to leave the video going, but you won't see me, but you will be able to hear me. Okay. Also, guys, I got the Canon PowerShot G7 Mark III. I don't like it. I'm just putting that out there. I'm probably going to return it and get a different camera. If you were in the market for a camera, do not get this camera. I hate it already. Okay? Just putting that out there, guys. If you're in the market for a camera, do not get that Mark III from Canon. Okay? I want to throw this camera across the room at this point. That's how mad I am at this camera. I am so pissed off at this camera. So ladies, when you get married, you are the keeper of the legacy. That's your whole role. Okay. His role is to be out here making moves, making it happen. And your job is to support that. Your job is to carry the legacy. Your job is to, okay, good guys. I'm glad. That's your job. We have to get on code as Black women. We cannot still be being so basic. At this point, as Black women, we are acting like basic bitches. Acting like we don't understand that we need to be married. Like marriage is optional for us. Since when did this happen? Okay, the fact with this Black women is where when someone is lovingly trying to give us advice or guidance, we get upset. Okay, because Black women, protection, Black women, again, have a fairy tale view of what protection means. You think protection means Prince Charming coming through with a sword on a horse slaying dragons for you. Do you know what protection is also, ladies? Advice, guidance, and rules. Okay. We say we want to be protected, but then we have people of all age, races, creeds, sexes, or whatever try to give us advice on how to make things better for ourselves, on how to prevent certain things from happening. We sit and tell them that they can't tell us what to do. It is not feminine to buck construction, especially when it's construction coming from someone who knows what they're talking about and who genuinely wants the best for you. Okay, protection is not just someone swooping in to save you from Quan Davis when you mouth off in public and end up getting into a physical altercation with a man. You think the protection is people coming in to swoop in and protect you from the altercations you get in from running your mouth. That's not what protection is. Protection is also, you ladies need to be married, you need to be ladies, you need to be women, you need masculine protection, you need to get married before you have children. This is also a form of protection. It's all things that make it easier for us in the background. Okay? In the long run, this is how people protect us. But we cannot keep holding on to the we're Black women and we've been through a lot, so no one can tell us nothing. We cannot keep holding on to that. When you get married, you take your husband's last name, period. Yes, you need to be married. Yes, you need to take your husband's last name. Any questions? Any issues? It's not debatable. That's the whole purpose of a marriage. When you get married, you are joining the families together. You are joining everyone together under one family name. See, y'all think marriage is you fall in love, and oh my God, we fall in love, and then we get married because we're in love. Y'all really think that's what marriage is. And that's why marriages are not happening. And that's why sometimes when they do happen, why they're not lasting. Because you have the Cinderella, again, the Cinderella generation, you have the Cinderella mindset of what marriage is. Sorry, guys. I need to grab my eye drops because as y'all can see, me blinking, my eyes is killing me. Okay, much better. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm like trying to focus, and my contacts was killing me. Now y'all see why I always got my yes, Cinderella syndrome. Cinderella syndrome is the millennials like me. We grew up watching Cinderella, and we think that Prince Charming is going to come while we're scrubbing floors and come take us away. Oh my God. So, Black women, when we get married, yes, we take our husband's last name. That's what marriage is. You're joining the whole family under one name and under one legacy. No, don't nobody care about your degrees. Okay, nobody cares about your degrees. Nobody cares what school you went to. Nobody cares. Okay, you take the last name. Then you add children to that last name. Okay, then you carry on the legacy for that last name that y'all married and came together to do. Okay, that's the way it works. The answer is yes. No, you do not get to keep your last name because you are the 1 in 10,000 Black women that's a doctor. Nobody cares about that either. Take your husband's last name. Okay. When you die, that's what's going to be on your tombstone. Okay. That is the whole reason why being a wife is sacred, because it shows sacrifice. It shows I am going to neglect, I am going to let go of the name I've been going by up until this point, my original family name. I am going to forsake that name, take on your name. I'm going to forsake my own name to take on yours. I am going to risk my life, my body to bring your children into this world. I am going to support you through the things that you need to do. This is the beauty of a wife. And you do this under contract. That way, when you make those sacrifices of sacrificing your body to have children by leaving behind your name for his, that contract makes it so that this man is legally binded to stick by you. And where even if things don't work out, you are legally protected, where this man cannot have you make all those sacrifices for him and then just run off. Okay, y'all seen Moneybag Yo Baby Mama? One of them crying because he don't got what Ari talking about. Oh, I was just with him 9 months ago. Oh, and he got in the industry and got him an industry chick. Yup. And he was able to move on and get him a badass industry chick with no repercussions because you're dumb and you didn't marry him. Okay, I've never seen this in my life. Women sit and complain about, oh, these men, oh, when they come up, they want to leave, but you talking about you don't want to be married. So that means you don't want any protection for that happening. Where if he so does decide that he want to trade you in for a new model, he got to pay you. He got to buy out this contract. That way you're not stuck with a bunch of kids and a sore vagina mad on Instagram Live talking about, oh my God, he got a new chick with your homegirls screenshotting the girl in a group chat talking about this her. And you over there mad and angry because you was dumb and decided to sit and risk everything to have these children for this man without being married. Then this is the other part that really just confuses me beyond belief. You'll say you don't be married. Then if we do talk marriage, you'll sit and say that you ain't got to take this man's last name. But then, like I said before, you'll still have children. And then you'll give the children the man's last name. You don't be married. If you do get married, you don't got to take this man's last name. But then you won't marry him, have a baby by him, and then give Quandavius Jr. his last name. Now you got Quandavius Jones the second, unmarried. So you ain't got to be married. You ain't got to take his last name, but you had a baby's not being married and then get a baby his last name, Quandavius Jones. That's mental illness. Do you understand that? Do you understand that denial is a form of mental illness? And that's where we're at as Black women, on such an extreme form of denial that at this point it's becoming a mental issue. Do you know that denial will drive you crazy? And the biggest thing you're denying yourself of is your femininity. You're denying your womb of its sacredness. You out here having casual sex like a man, having babies unmarried, and you're attacking your own womb. And this is what is causing you to be mentally ill in denial now. Because that's a mental illness. Because it seems like you're not connecting like a healthy, normal human being, cause and effect. It's not connecting consequence. So it starts getting real mentally ill out here real quickly. Okay. You need to be married. You will take your man's last name. That's what it's all about. You will get under contract. You will have those kids. You will be submissive. You will let him take the lead. The whole family will have the last name, because that's why I say it's a mental illness, because you'll sit here and give the kids his last name, but not yours. You'll sit and say you want to be protected, but you don't want to get married. It's not adding up. It's time to get information, ladies. All this, I'm going to be honest with you. We tired of your mouth. We don't care. I've never seen a group of women where 60, 70% of them are not married, never been married. You ain't never had a man get down on one knee and present a ring to you and want to sit and talk about what they will and won't do about marriage. You don't even know what marriage is. You don't even know its point. How are you the most unmarried group of women talking about what you're not going to do for marriage? How are you the most unmarried group of women, but the group of women having children at the highest rates and gonna sit and dictate what should and should not be done with marriage. Again, shout out to the brother Money Madu, because guess what? Just like as feminine women, as feminine Black women, we have to defend our right to be feminine, because society does not look at us as deserving of being feminine, or society assumes for Black women to be masculine. And then when you're feminine, society says, okay, she's different. Whereas you're not, it's not assumed for us to be feminine. It's okay for us to be feminine, but it's not automatically assumed. When they see a Black woman, they're not assuming, oh, she's feminine, she's amazing. No, they're going to assume that we're strong, independent Black women. So then when we're feminine, it kind of takes people aback, like, oh, wait, she's different. So she's feminine. She's not like what I was expecting from women that look like her. Okay. It just same way we gotta fight to be feminine is the same way that brothers gotta fight for their masculinity. Because when you got brothers like the good brother Money Madu, that's out here saying, hell yeah, I work hard. I don't build this last name. I don't accomplish behind this name. My wife is gonna take it. You attack him. Because you've never experienced that before, because you so used to dealing with bands that sit and look at you like, so what we gonna do? So what we gonna do, babe? And you handle everything. You're used to dealing with men that you got to fill out his job applications for him. You used to men that can't read. Used to men in and out of jail that have nothing going for themselves. So it doesn't even comprehend. Your brain is not even able to understand that, oh my God, this is him being a real man. And this is why when a woman call a man controlling, I want to know exactly what you mean when you say this man controlling. Because when you're dealing with a bunch of women who have not had masculine authoritative figures in the home, you got to really sit and wonder what you mean. Because the way that Black women talk to each other can be very negative. I don't see Black women, when you turn on TV, that's all you see is Black women screaming at each other and being extremely aggressive with one another. But then when you got a masculine man that want to marry you, talking about, but all you need to do is take my last name, you talking about, no, you being aggressive and you controlling? Mental illness. Mental illness. Black women, the only aggression Black women sees is the aggression between you and your mama. Okay? The aggression between you and women that look like you, that's aggression. But a man saying that he gonna take the lead and you gonna fall in line or else you good, it's not controlling. Notice he did not say, oh, you got to take my last name, period, or else I'm gonna beat you up. No, he said you need to take the last name or no deal. That's not controlling. He gave you the option where you ain't got to take it, but you also ain't got to marry me. That's not control. That's the way the masculine works, but you don't know that. And that's why it take a healing. That's why it takes a shifting of the mind. So quickly, if you have not read my book yet, what are you doing? There's so much information that we have. I am a woman. I have seen where that strong, independent mindset leads. I have watched women in my family die by themselves, running their mouth, talking about what they're not going to do to have a husband and what life without a husband does to you long term. Because we as Black women, we don't age. So we be in our 30s, 40s, still waiting on Prince Charming, like that's realistic. Because when we look in the mirror, it's like we don't look any different. When I look in the mirror, I still see the same girl that I looked like in 10th grade. I haven't changed physically. I'm still the same size I was in 10th grade. I haven't gained a pound. I still fit my high school clothes. We don't age as Black women. So then we be in our 30s and 40s waiting on Prince Charming, thinking it's going to actually happen. No, time has passed, even though it does not look like it. See, them other girls, they move quicker on getting married because they know that by 30, 35, they're trash. They know that. They know they move quicker than us because as each year goes by for them, they notice significant changes in them aging. So that's why for them, they post haste doing what they got to do to go ahead and lock in the husband while they still look young. But then you got us Black women that be 30, still looking like we did when we was in high school. So we don't have that same sense of urgency. We just don't. Whereas if we were those other women, we by 25 would want to be married because we know, and by 35 we thrown in the trash. But since since we don't age, we think we have this infinite amount of time, and we don't. Okay, ladies, that's what marriage is. You take his last name, you take on the legacy, and you sit and you accommodate him. You move around him. Why do you have a problem with that? You have a problem with that because you're in your masculine energy. So there is a shift that we have to do as Black women. There's a shift that we have to do that takes us out of the mindset of, well, I ain't doing this for no man. Listen, he's a man. He is in a whole different league lane than you. Moving around him, being submissive to him, being vulnerable to him does not make you lose any points. You in a whole different lane. Okay? The smell in this room don't affect the smell in the next room. They two separate rooms. If I spray apple cinnamon spray here, the next room don't smell it. It's in here. So I can spray all the apple cinnamon I want. It's not going to affect them. For us as feminine women, we can be over here being all the submissive we want. It doesn't take away from us as women. He is in a whole different lane than us. When you as a woman have a problem letting a man win or being submissive to a man, that is a huge indicator in your masculine. You as a woman should have no problem letting a man think he got it, letting a man win. Who cares? Y'all are on two separate lanes. It doesn't take anything from you. I think some of y'all think you're going to just die if you let a man win. This is Black women holding on to their masculinity. And you like, come on, give it to me. And they like, no, I did it. And you like, come on, pass it over. And you holding on to it. Baby girl, if you don't let that go, you killing yourself. If you haven't got my book, you can click the link in my bio to get my book. It's called The Black Woman's Ultimate Guide to Reclaiming Femininity. In the book, I'm going to show you the role that your ancestors play in reclaiming your femininity. I'm going to show you my own family, my own ancestors, and the messages that they want to send to us. I'm going to show you what happens when you want to write the rules as a woman. I hate that. See, we don't fall for this whole carpe diem, write your own rules. No, these rules are in place to keep us safe and to keep us okay. These rules are in place because they work. So it's a whole shifting of the mindset that has to happen. So I put the story of my own feminine testimony in here, how I got drawn away from my femininity, how I got back to it. And it really is a healing because we're not groomed for this. So once we're in the age of information like we're currently in now, it's our job to take advantage of it and make the change. It's a shift. Okay. Type in the chat if you've read my book. Somebody said, very good book. Thank you. Link is in my bio, sixthegoddess.com, to get your copy. It's an ebook. It's a paperback version. If you get the paperback version, just please be advised, we are experiencing heavy delays with the post office. Post office so backed up. Post office ain't even giving us updates on tracking no more. The post office is like, listen, it'll get there when it gets there. Okay. So if you want it more instant version, get the ebook. However, if you can be patient for the paperback book, that's fine. But this book is going to teach you why it's important to shift that mindset. Coming from a woman where I have seen how that plays out. And when I tell y'all it plays out so ugly, when you young, you're not aging, so you think you got all the time in the world. You think that time is on your side. You think that things are optional. Shout out to Shayla Mir. I appreciate you, sister. You the bomb, and that's on that. I've seen how it plays out. So I share with you what it looked like and why it is imperative for you to do what you need to do as a woman. Ladies, we did a live stream a few weeks ago or a few days ago talking about the men, talking about how being a man is a thankless job, how pretty much being a man is like work some more, and then you work again. And then when you're done with that work, you work again. And then if it don't work out, it's all your fault. That's what being a man is. Man is literally on some Django slavery working all the time. And then had the nerve where if something don't go perfect, the man is the one that bears that responsibility. So we already talked about how being a man is a thankless job. Do you think that there is not a equal amount of thankless jobs that we have as women? So we want to just sit, we want to send the men out to work, like Rihanna. And then we want to sit here and we should have no sacrifices we have to make, and we shouldn't do nothing that we don't want to do. Guess what? Part of being a woman is doing things you don't want to have to do. Okay? Part of being a woman is doing things for the greater good, for the family, for your children. Talking about we're not our grandmothers. You're right. We're not our grandmothers. They were 10 times the women that we are. That's what being a woman is. It's about sacrifice. Being a man is about work. Okay, being a man is about work. Being a woman is about sacrifice. Any questions? Are we lost on this? Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns? Yes, baby girl. So I just gotta, yes. So what you're telling me is I have to, yes. So just because, yes. Well, you need to make, yes. You know what that's called? Being an adult. It's called being a grown-ass woman. Okay? This is what we do. You sacrifice as the woman. You got a problem with it? No? Well, I'm going to tell you what your alternative is. You have a few, because you do have options. Don't think that, competent, masculine black men is your only option or nothing else. You have other options. Okay? You got plenty of them. You got options, sis. You got options to be with a broke dude. You got options to be with a lazy man that hasn't accomplished nothing anyway. So therefore, he has no problem letting you do whatever you want. You have the option to be a lesbian. You have the option to either be, I honestly think for some of y'all best bet is to be a baby mama and have a baby by a man that you know going to take care of them kids. And that's probably the best that you're going to get. You could be a baby mama. Your other option is to be with a beta male. Your other option is to get a bunch of cats. Your other option is to have, think about it. These women be out here rotating dudes, a different dude every 3-6 months. That adds up. If most women lose their virginity at what, 17, 18? That adds up to almost, if you got 4 penises a year, let's do some calculations. Let's talk about the alternative for women that want to call the shots on what marriage should be and what they are and are not going to do with marriage. Let's calculate some of the alternatives. Okay, so let's say a woman has sex with 4 men per year, which is about standard, and that's lowballing it for today's current woman. Because again, the women are in their masculine energy, they're making money, okay, and they ain't trying to hear that. They are having sex with men based upon them being horny and based upon the man looking good. So honestly, a lot of single women probably having sex with more than 4 men per year. That's a different man per season, different man in the spring, summer, fall, winter. Okay. So let's look at the average older, bitter black woman is between 40 and 50 years old. So let's say you lost your virginity at 18. So let's do 28, 38, 40. Let's do 30 years. Let's take it from 18 to 48 years old. That is going to equal 120 dicks. If a woman loses her virginity at 18 years old and is now 48 years old, and if she only had sex with 4 different men per year, she will have had 120 penises in her lifetime. And that's on the low end. I am clutching my pearls. So out of 120 dicks, How many of those are going to land you in the clinic for STDs? How many of those are going to land you in the clinic having to get an abortion? It sounds terrible, right? But let's really go ahead and break this down. Women that say they don't want to get married, so they just casually date their whole life, even have children casually. Most women lose their virginity around 17, 18 years old. Okay, it's a lot of women that be in their 40s before they decide that they want to suddenly settle down. After they don't had all them kids and all those dicks. And now you 42, 43, 44, talking about you want to get married, but you have had 120 dicks. And now if you've read my book, then you also read my reference to refer to Queen Afua's Sacred Healing Book for women. And what happens when you as a woman sit and allow all of that energy, because you know that's what it is. When a man has sex with you as a woman, he's dumping a load on you. So when you sit and you take 120 loads of men, it ruins your womb. Now you got to go through a whole 7 to 10 gateway womb healing to try to get all these dicks out. And you won't. And it adds to your bitterness. It adds to you being disillusioned. It leads to you being in denial. You as a woman cannot do that. A man drops a load on you. You crazy as a woman if you think that you out here just having sex with a man. That is not the way it works. You need to get married and you need to have one penis that you are on for an extended period of time, preferably a lifetime. You cannot be out here talking about you don't want to be married, ladies. And 120 dicks is the low end, because y'all out here having sex with more than 4 men per year. Because the older a woman gets, the older she gets, and the older she gets single, the quicker the dicks rotate. Okay, when you 22, 23, you might even have a sex friend for months, years at a time because you're young. But the older she gets, when she's still single, casually dating, the dicks are in and out faster and faster because now you an old chick. So the dicks are not as excited to have you because now he telling his friends how he dealing with some old chick. So now the dicks probably stay around maybe 2 weeks. The older you get as a woman, and trust me, when I tell you I don't heard the stories. The older you get as a woman single, the more men think what is wrong with you while you're single, and the more they are prone to want to have sex with you and then leave. Okay, that's what happens. So sisters, we got to get on code. We got to act like we know. You get married, yes, you take your husband's last name. Yes, you need to be married. Yes, it's all about him. Yes, you need to figure out how you're going to support him and help him. Yes, you sacrifice. Yes, nobody cares. Yes, be quiet, fall in line, and do what you got to do. This is how you stay alive. This is how you stay okay. Yes, there is advice out there that is for our protection. Protection is not just physical. Okay? No, it's not funny. It's not funny. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. I am so serious right now. This is a serious issue that we have. We as Black women, we truly think that marriage is optional. Because we have self-sabotage to the point where we are afraid and terrified to admit that we want to be married because we don't think that we are worthy of it. Okay, sisters, get on code. Act like you know. Be a grown woman. Do what you need to do. You can't be out here in these streets forever. It's not appropriate. It's not healthy, and it's not getting you nowhere. Stop being unrealistic. Stop being in denial. All them dicks and all that singleness got you in serious denial. Be serious for a second. Understand that marriage has nothing to do with love. Marriage is a business deal. It's about doing what's best for the next generation, doing what's best for the children. And grow up, ladies. Okay, if you have not purchased my book, please don't be on this live stream getting all this good information. And all I ask you to do is go spend a little $9.99 on my book. I do not overcharge for what I do. I do not break the bank for y'all. So I would appreciate kind of paying that forward and going ahead and purchasing the book so we can start getting more sisters shifting the mindset. A book from a sister, again, who has watched how that whole I'll do what I want, I make my own rules lifestyle plays out. Understanding why it's going to be so important for us as sisters to switch that mindset. Okay, guys. So thank y'all in advance for purchasing. Again, the link is in my bio at sixthegoddess.com. We are going to go to Best Buy tomorrow and get this camera thing figured out for YouTube so we can get this rolling. But I appreciate you guys understanding us trying to get this together in the meantime. I love you all. And as always, peace, love, and Black power.